So in today's podcast, we're going to be speaking about Kylie Jenner and her new clothing line called Kai. So recently, Kylie Jenner launched a clothing line. It's caused a bit of a stir and it's also caused some mixed headlines. So on the one hand, she's been really successful so far. So apparently in the first hour, she had $1 million worth of sales. However, there's been a lot of commentary online from people that have bought into the brand or who have sort of looked into it, where people have said that the clothes maybe aren't worth the price, that the price is quite high for the clothes. Also, some people have accused her of copying other brands, including Kanye West and also some other brands as well. So she's been facing quite a bit of backlash as a result of being accused of stealing her brand and her ideas from other creators. So what are your thoughts on that, Sugar?
Initial thoughts was, the $1 million sales in 1 hour, did you say?
Mm-hmm. 1 hour.
That's incredible. To sell that much so fast, that's incredible. And really shows the power of social media at the moment. And then in terms of the backlash, it looks interesting. I'm not too privy on some of these other brands, but I've certainly noticed a lot of people, seem to be saying the same thing. It's not like one or two people. It seems to be a lot of people seem to be saying the same thing, that it looks like, some other brands, some Yeezy brands and so on. It'll be interesting to get your thoughts on it as well.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that celebrities are able to foray into various different industries and be successful straight away. So literally, not really based on the quality, not really based on pedigree. I don't think she's not really known as a designer. She's not known as a person who manufactures clothes, but literally because she's a celebrity and she has a huge brand, she's able to just launch a brand and get $1 million worth of sales just straight away like that. I think many companies would do anything to get that kind of engagement.
Yeah, only thing is there was a pre-order, so maybe the 1 hour might be a bit misleading in that way, because it might be, I don't know, maybe it might have been, we don't know how long it's been on pre-order for. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think she definitely would have been impacted by people pre-ordering. But even that, the fact that she can put a pre-order in place, I think many businesses still would love to be able to make $1 million off of pre-order. I think that's just incredible.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. But then, of course, the real test is what happens next. So the initial buzz, she's going to get headlines in general. Even if she didn't make the $1 million in sales, I think she would have already gotten attention because she's one of the Kardashian Jenner sisters that's launched a brand. But the real test is what happens next in terms of, do the consumers actually like it? And I think you've been doing a little bit of research into what people have been thinking about the brand.
Yeah, as I was saying, so generally speaking, it seems like a lot of them seems to be quite mixed views. A lot of people seem to be saying that it's similar to some of the coats, for example, are similar to Yeezy coats. I think you saw some similarities, isn't it, with some of the Yeezy designs? Yeah,
also the way that the poses and the pictures, the way that some of the aesthetics, it does definitely look a bit similar to things we've seen on the market already.
Mm. And but generally it looks simple. I think there's some leggings I saw. I think they're around £50, $50. Would you say that's expensive? Is that expensive for ladies' leggings?
I would say it's quite on the higher side. But then I guess it depends on the quality. It depends on how you're supposed to wear it as well. So you can always find a justification. And there's always someone that's willing to spend money on clothes. So if you can find an audience, then Bob's your uncle. But I think she specifically said in the press release that she wanted it to be affordable. Okay. So I think if her aim was to make it affordable, probably not quite hitting the mark there.
So yeah, that's in fact, that was the next question I was going to ask you. Where would you say it's pitched? Do you think it's more of a premium brand, or
I wouldn't say it's premium. So I think the range goes up to about $200. So I wouldn't say that's premium, but I think she's definitely wanting to. I think she could definitely price it lower if she wanted to. But it's one of those things where if people are willing to spend the money, she's got a big name. With that comes a large audience. People are going to have deep pockets. Some people will save up their money to buy it. So if people are going to buy it, why not try your luck? I guess that sort of thing is what she was thinking. But I think there's something to take away from, Rihanna, when she had her Fenty Beauty. When she first launched Fenty Beauty, I think a lot of people also expected the foundations, for example, to be really expensive. But she took a different approach and she priced it, I would say, quite similar to MAC Cosmetics. So it wasn't the cheapest. It's not like drugstore like Maybelline or L'Oreal. It wasn't as cheap as that, but in comparison to really high-end products like Marc Jacobs or, Tom Ford Beauty, which would probably be like £50, £60. Hers was about £26. So it was reasonably priced, I would say. But the key was with Rihanna's Fenty Beauty Foundation was it wasn't just reasonably priced products. It was actually good quality products. Kylie's brand just launched this week, or, the people already saying, oh, I'm not sure about the quality and things of that nature. It doesn't really bode well for the longevity of the brand.
Yeah, how did her previous brands do? Because some people were saying that her swimwear didn't do as well. Do you know how that did?
Yeah, I was looking at that as well. A lot of people were saying that her swimwear line that was launched a few years ago flopped. It didn't really do very well. I think people were very unhappy about the quality of the products. And I think it's like what you were saying in terms of the power of social media. People will speak. If people are not happy with the quality of a product, they will not be silent. They will vocalize it. So,
well, that's interesting because I understand that allegedly that Kylie was involved all the way through, from picking the materials to doing looking at the designs, choosing the designs, etc., etc. So hopefully that sounds like the material should be much better this time if she's more involved. But we shall see what people say about the material.
Yeah, that's a very good point. She would have been able to take some lessons learnt from her previous ventures and hopefully make this one much better. So yeah, that's actually a very, very good point. Also, just wanted to point out, so her sister, Kim Kardashian, has a Skims line. And in contrast to Kylie Jenner's line, I would say overwhelmingly, the reviews that I've seen for Skims have been very positive. I don't think Skims is the cheapest product out there. But I think, again, this goes back to, you will get a buzz as a celebrity, as someone who's notable. If you're launching a brand, you will get a buzz for your product because of your name. But if you want the brand to be successful long term, the quality of the product has to be there. And I think Skims was able to do that. Fenty Beauty by Rihanna was able to do that. So the fact that Kai so far has had quite a few mixed reviews doesn't really bode well. But she could potentially be able to iron out some of these issues as well that people have. And maybe there could be a second release of the brand and it could perhaps do a bit better. But I think what does worry me, because if you remember Ivy Park by Beyonce, again, that also had some mixed reviews. So it probably did very well initially because, Beyonce is a superstar, she's beloved, she's hugely popular. So I'm sure her fans would have gone out in droves.
Could you remind us of some of the mixed reviews that was there?
I think with Ivy Park, I think people mentioned the price of it. Some of the items people felt was a bit pricey. I think people were also confused in terms of what to do with the product. So Ivy Park was in collaboration with Adidas. So there was athletic wear, I guess, but some of it did not seem very practical for the gym or for athletic work. For example, there was like dresses and skirts, which people felt that probably wasn't the most practical thing. And then also I think people weren't really happy with some of the colours initially. So we live in the UK and some people describe some of Ivy Park resembling the Sainsbury's uniform. And Sainsbury's is a supermarket in the UK.
So it's that purple, is it?
Burgundy and orange. Burgundy and orange is the uniform, and I think one of Ivy Park's collections was literally all burgundy and orange. So people were saying it looked like the Sainsbury's uniform. So I think Ivy Park had mixed reviews. Ivy Park has stopped production now.
I think it was very expensive as well, no?
Yeah, some people were saying it was quite pricey.
Yeah.
So I think these are all pitfalls to avoid. These are all lessons to be learned. So hopefully at the very least, Kylie listens to some of the mixed reviews and can make some adjustments. But what do you think about people saying that she's copied other brands? Like, what do you think about that?
To be honest, I think a lot of companies copy each other anyway. So I kind of feel like, I suppose I feel for maybe the smaller designers. Maybe I can understand the frustration of the smaller designers. Like if they've come up with something that's quite unique and then, somebody like Kylie comes over and copies it, I can understand the frustration. But I think in terms of the big companies like your Yeezys, I think, that's just, part and parcel of business is just, that's just something that happens, Just got to keep improving, I guess.
So as a business, what can a business do to prevent other businesses from just copying their ideas?
I'm not sure in terms of fashion, but I have heard, for example, with Christian Louboutin shoes, he was able to prove that a company was trying to copy his shoes. So Louboutin is the one with the red bottoms. So the company was able to prove that there was I think there was another company that was trying to copy it and sell it as like, I guess, knockdown version of Louboutin. And they were able to prove that they were basically trying to copy Louboutin because the red of the brand underneath the shoes was unique to Louboutin, and they actually won that case.
Okay.
And it's similar to Kanye West as well when he was doing his foam shoes. I believe some of the high street stores tried to copy it as well. Some of the sliders.
Oh yeah, I did hear about
and they
that.
got into trouble. Which one was it? Do you remember?
I don't remember exactly, but yeah, I do remember him I think planning to sue or suing companies
he just
for copying
threatened
it.
that seemed to be enough. They were
I
like,
don't know if it was
we don't want
Target
none
or
of that.
something, and they did look identical, to be fair, but a fraction of the price.
Yeah, for a fraction of the price. Yeah, these foam sliders are usually like $200, maybe $200, is it $200, maybe $100, $200, usually quite expensive. And threatened to sue them. That seemed to be enough for them to run, and they decided to stop selling it. So I think, it seems like is that copyright? I would imagine.
Yeah, I guess trademark and
Trademarking
copyright
and stuff, yeah. And I suppose having a good lawyer.
Yeah, that would help.
Having a very good lawyer helps. So for Skims Men, when they launched, they had the help of Neymar, which is a international footballer, Brazilian footballer, who's world renowned for his footballing. And also they became the official underwear partners for the NBA. That sounds like a new title. I don't think that was a thing before. I think they've given themselves their own title, but you get the drift. It's quite clever marketing, but you get the drift. So that's very, and it seems to be well received at the moment. From what some people are saying, what they're saying is that, in fact, it tends to be women that tends to buy the other half the boxers, or like these premium boxers. So that's actually the market for buying premium boxers. It tends to be more women that buy it than actually men, which is quite interesting. So she probably already has an audience for it already. But it sounds like with the advertising, it sounds like she's actually directly trying to attract men from the advertising that she's doing. So she's still trying to tap into that male, directly into that male market.
I think it's smart because essentially, or invariably, what she'll be doing is making it appealing to men. So that even if the women are still the ones to purchase it, when the men receive it, they'll be happy to receive it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, they won't be thinking, what the heck is this? They'll even be excited. Oh, well, this one is endorsed by really top sports people, right? So, which a lot of men are into sports, etc. So it's actually very, very clever. So some men will purchase it, but for the women that will continue to purchase it, well, they'll say, oh, well, my guy will probably like it. The same way, how all these brands are quick to endorse sports stars, from the athletics companies themselves, like Nike and Adidas, to even drinks companies, love to endorse, because once you're associated with this sports star who has a lot of popularity, it increases the brand's reputation and value in that regard to their audience also. It just raises the awareness of it. Because even this is just raising the awareness of it. Because if not for these partnerships and endorsements, I wouldn't have known that Skims for Men had launched. Because what she could have done was just added the men's line.
Yeah. But
she didn't. She didn't just add a men's line. She decided to roll out a launch, but in a very clever way. Partnering with sports stars and then partnering with the NBA officially, like you said, with this title that they created. So it's very, very clever marketing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree. Seems to have a strong team there.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that was interesting, so the price points, from what I've been seeing, is the boxes tend to be around 45, 50, 55, so it seems to be around that region, which is okay, I suppose, which is okay. It's probably more on the premium side, but I think if you're going to buy branded boxes, it probably would be around 40, 50 quid anyway, so it sounds about right, probably.
Okay.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on the launches?
I think it's brilliant. I think it's a brilliant idea because why keep a brand only specific to women if you can expand and have a men's line? Why not? And I think partnering with the sports stars, partnering with the NBA, very, very clever. I think it's a great way to broaden the reach, broaden the advertising, the new line. So yeah, very impressive. And it'll be interesting to see how it does, but I think it will probably do quite well. Especially as you said, if it's mainly women that do still purchase it, then yeah, I think a very clever venture for her to entertain.
It doesn't look like the Skims Men is available in the UK yet. So it looks like from what I can see, it looks like it is available online though. From what it's saying, it's about 5 to 7 working days. So for anybody interested that's in the UK, 5 to 7 working days to be able to order it. But you can buy it from online from Skims Men website. From the Kylie's one, it looks like they were doing drops. So maybe... So what is a drop, by the way?
I think a drop is just a limited release of products. So they will launch a certain amount of clothes within a collection, possibly an accessories, and it's a finite amount. So when it finishes, it finishes. So
how do you find out about this? You have to be...
I think you probably have to be engaged, with the brand.
Okay. I see. Okay. So you have to probably be following Kylie or watch this space on that one. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I think some of the business keys to take away from this is, I think ultimately you can have the largest presence in the world, you can have huge marketing, you can be a huge celebrity, but in terms of the longevity of your brand, the quality of the product is really, really key. Customer satisfaction is really, really key. And I think those that get that right tend to have a fantastic success, such as Kim. I think Kim is a billionaire through Skims, and so is Rihanna. So I think that's the key. That's the key differentiator. Make sure the quality of the product is there. Then the marketing will also help push the brand even further.
Yeah, I think they said it's valued between 4 to 6 billion, which is incredible. The Skims brand, yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Incredible, yeah. So they've done well there.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in to Business Key Podcast. Let us know your thoughts on Skims and Kai. Is it something that you would buy? Do you like the designs? Is it something that you would you think that you would buy, or do you think it's too expensive? Let us know your thoughts on the Business Key Podcast page. We'll be putting a post up in the week. So yeah, leave your comments on there. Let us know what you think. And follow us on Instagram at Business Key Pod. And we release episode every Wednesday. So we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.